All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try this again because my GoPro kind of just stopped recording. But this is going to be my first moto vlog on the channel, and I plan on making more. But today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reasons you should buy a Kawasaki Z125 and some of the reasons why I love my Kawasaki Z125. Let me get through this little traffic stop here. There we go. All right, so reason number one, the number one reason that I think you should buy the Z125 is it's lightweight and maneuverable, all right? Which in turn makes it a blast to ride. It's really fun to ride. Here, let me itch my nose. Whew! All right. It's super lightweight, super maneuverable. I think wet weight, you guys can check on the specifications and whatnot to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's under 200 pounds. I think it's close to like 175 pounds, which means when you're zipping around in traffic or around town or whatever, it is super maneuverable, super like easy to throw around and kind of turn back and forth, right? I love riding it. Makes it super fun. When it comes to the lightweightness of the motorcycle, if you did end up laying it down, it would not be hard at all to get it back up off the pavement. I've never laid this thing down, haven't even gotten close, but if I did, I know that lifting it up would be a piece of cake. Following along that same line of thinking, if you wanted to, you know, move this bike or take it somewhere in your truck or something, you could literally pick this up with a friend. If you're super jacked, you could probably pick it up yourself, but if you need to, you could have a friend help you, and you could just like throw it in the back of a pickup truck and take it to wherever you needed to go. It would not be out of the realm of possibilities. You wouldn't have to worry about ramps or anything like that. This thing is so lightweight. So that's one reason I think you should buy a Z125. Another reason that I think you should buy the Z125, and another reason I really like it, is that it looks freaking sweet. All right, when I bought this, I bought it new. You guys can, what the heck, dude, go. All right, another reason, so that guy got me all in my head, bro. So being that it looks super cool, right? When I bought this thing new, I had the choice. I could choose, I had a choice between the Grom and the Honda Grom and the Kawasaki Z125. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, Grom people are probably gonna get pissed. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Grom people are probably gonna get pissed, but when you set them side by side, you literally cannot compare the two. The Z125 just looks way cooler than the Honda Grom, and that's one of the reasons I bought it. The paint job is sweet. It's kind of like the gray camo color paint job for the Z125. This is the 2024. Did I say 2025? I meant 125. This is the Z125. I got the 2024, and I bought it brand new off the dealership. That guy gave me the wave. Sometimes I will say, when you're riding this motorcycle, it is so small that like a lot of other riders aren't sure whether or not they want to wave to you. They're like, is that even a motorcycle? Yes, okay, yes it is. It's street legal. I have to have an endorsement to ride this, but that's not really a downside. Whatever. I used to have a big bike, and this one is, it looks a lot different. I'll give them that, okay? But these things look awesome. I'm riding to go get gas right now. You can see I'm cruising at 51 miles an hour at about 7,500 RPMs. I generally shift between 6,000 and 8,000 RPMs, but it's a 4-speed, and the top speed is literally like 62 miles an hour downhill. And I'm a pretty light person. I weigh, I weigh about 160 pounds, and I'm 5'6" on a good day. So that actually brings me to another reason I really like the Z125. If you're a shorter rider or a beginner rider, this is the motorcycle for you. I can stop at stoplights and just sit flat-footed on the motorcycle, no problem at all. And that's like a really big bonus, especially if like you get stuck in like a parking spot or whatever, and you need to push it or back it up or whatever. Like being able to, is this green? Yeah, it's green. Being able to just like move it around relatively easily is a huge benefit. I learned how to ride on the street. Oh my God, I downshifted on Honda Shadow 1100, and I will tell you what, that thing was a boat. It was just so hard to push around. I couldn't flat foot it, and that meant that like learning how to park and like learning how to like back into places was like of the utmost priority, and it was just a pain to learn on. And I dropped it. I actually dropped that one once, and it was really freaking heavy, dude. That one weighed like 650 pounds at least, and this one weighs less than 200, so it's just easy to move around, easy to push around. And having 4 speeds, it's just like this motorcycle is easy to learn how to ride on. So that's another reason that you should buy a Z125, is if you're a newer rider and just want to get comfortable riding. I will say, if you're an experienced rider, you might get a little bored of this motorcycle after a couple months. Even me, like, knowing that I just planning on riding it around town, I was like, okay, after 2 months, I was like, man, I wish I could ride on the freeway. I wish I could go a little faster, get up to speed quicker. But around town, this thing is plenty. It's totally fine. It'll go 55 miles an hour, and it's not that big of a deal. So another reason that I like the Z125 and that you should buy one is that it is really good on fuel efficiency. It gets great gas mileage. The manufacturer and the dealer kind of like scam me a little bit, and they're like, oh yeah dude, you'll get 100 miles a gallon easy, it won't be a problem. But maybe it's because I mob it around and this isn't in like perfect pristine conditions or whatever, road conditions, but my calculations have gotten me a little bit closer to like 70 miles a gallon, which, don't get me wrong, that's like still way better than like a 1100cc Shadow or a Harley or even like a crotch rocket, right? They're gonna get closer to 40 or 50. So the 70 miles a gallon on this thing is awesome, especially when gas in Oregon is over $5 a gallon, and I have a truck as my daily driver. So in the summer, being able to zip this around and save money on gas has been really awesome. So the fuel efficiency is definitely one of the reasons that you should buy this. Insurance is also super cheap. If you guys look into insurance for motorcycles, not specifically Z125s, but motorcycles in general, you're not going to be spending more than, you know, maybe $100 a year. So the efficiency and the cost efficiency of riding a motorcycle, and specifically a Z125 for gas, is definitely up there on the list of reasons why you should buy one. I think I already talked about like how it looks and the sleekness of the motorcycle itself. One thing I did want to mention, I've only done a couple modifications on this to get it looking the way I want it to look. I added this motorcycle phone mount, which super secure. It's a Lamicall phone mount. I'll put a link in the bio if you guys want to like take a look at it too. But it's been awesome. Keeps my phone stable while I'm riding, and it's got a locking mechanism on the back, which is pretty cool. I've never seen that before. But yeah, got that. Another modification I did was I deleted the stock fender and the bug eye rear turn signals. I thought they looked kind of ugly and they kind of wobbled around when I ride it. So I got a fender delete kit, and as part of that also bought an integrated tail light, which really changed the look of the motorcycle. It made it look a little bit more sharp and simple, and I like how it looks now more with those modifications. I am actually thinking about adding a Yoshimaro exhaust to this motorcycle, just because I think it'll add a little bit of performance, like front end torque wise, to get up to speed faster. And it'll sound way cooler. This thing does sound like a little bit like a lawnmower, which is a downside. But is there a gas station here? I don't even know. Yeah, there's a gas station up there. But yeah, these things are so fun, man. That's like really the bottom line is when I'm riding it around, it's like the feel of a motorcycle with like the maneuverability of like a dirt bike or a bicycle. It's just so easy and fun and zippy. So I'm a really big fan of this motorcycle. I am planning on buying like a full-size crotch rocket here at some point, but I'm gonna keep this one because I like it so much, and I've been learning how to wheelie on it, which, you know, arguably is not a good idea, but I want to learn how to wheelie. And this thing is so light that even if I crashed it, it's pretty cheap too, even if I crashed it, I feel like I wouldn't be like losing that much. It's not like trying to wheelie like a CBR 600 and dropping it and feeling really bad because it's like $6,000. I'm gonna chill here for a second. Now let's go get gas. Screw it. I'll pull up here right behind this guy. There we go. Gas tank's right here. This is just a key gas tank. Boom. Let's see how much it fills. So I had 2 bars of gas on the tank. Oh snap. Oh yeah. And we'll see how much it fills up here, just so you guys get the full picture of this fuel efficiency. Now you guys know my phone password. Oh no. All right. Dude, you guys know my phone password, but that's not going to matter at all. I do fill this thing up with premium because I don't want it to, I want to be nice to my engine. What's going on? Dude, this thing is delayed. There we go. The gas tank's pretty short, so if you stick the whole gas canister thing in there, it'll kind of overflow, so I like to hold it here. There it is, it's full. Boom. Oh, I'm gonna have to wipe that off. Look, a little over 1.1 gallon, 1.2 gallons, $7 to fill it up with premiums. Pretty sweet. Pop that puppy back in there. Let me show you what I was talking about with the integrated tail light. So, cover my license plate, but this is the integrated tail light right here, and the fender is no longer here, so the turn signals are in the light right here, which is pretty sweet. But overall, give you a look. Like I said, looks just like a mini crotch rocket, dude. This thing is sick. Big fan of how it looks. Can't really remember if I said this or not, but overall the cost of the motorcycle is affordable. So if you're looking for a first time motorcycle, this one's going to be it, because for, you know, less than $3,000 new and maybe a little over $2,000 used, you can get a fun usable motorcycle that'll go pretty much on any road in town. I just won't ride it on the freeway. That's my personal rule though. So I think I'm gonna head home, guys. Appreciate you for watching. I'm gonna make more of these moto vlogs. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like this video if you appreciate the information and like the style of this format of video. I am planning on making another one of these, so look forward to that. The next video is going to be why you should not buy a Z125, and I kind of covered a few of those reasons in this video, but want to go more into depth in the next one. So if you want a full picture, definitely make sure to stay and subscribe and keep an eye out for that. Probably make it in the next week or so. But overall, I mean, if I were to weigh the pros and cons of the Z125, I think the pros greatly outweigh the cons, and really it comes down to like what you want in a motorcycle, right? What you're trying to do with it. If you want a commuter in town, there's nothing better than this. I'm telling you that, right? If you want to learn, nothing better than this. If you want to have fun zipping around and maybe learning how to do some, like, I can't remember what it's called, like the like the tricks or whatever, like wheelies and stuff, this is definitely the bike for you as well. So I'm stoked. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure, remember to live a little. Have a good time. See you guys.